I'm here in the Oni booth number 2028, and I'm here with Tess Stone. Tess, hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Tess, I'm happy to have you because we're talking about this is Sleepy Gary. I'm gonna make sure that we get this nice in there so that everyone can really see the foil because photos don't do this justice. This is Rick and Morty presents Sleeping Gary, and this is the foil exclusive here at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't know that it was actually going to be in foil. So seeing it, it's pretty amazing. It looks great.
Obviously, folks really want a lot of Rick and Morty, so there is the variant that's just for New York Comic Con. There's the sketch cover, and then there's the foil cover. And like I said, it just because you can look at the back in there, and then you know exactly what you're getting. What's it like working on a project like Rick and Morty? Like everyone knows a lot about it. The comics have been running for a while. Obviously, there's the cartoon, and it's not just something that like came out of your head.
I was really honored because I love the show. So the fact that they asked me to do anything for it was really great. And I just wanted to do it justice because it's so funny and so clever and great.
That seems to be a common sentiment. Anytime I talk to anybody that works on Rick and Morty, they're just like, or any of the comic properties, they're just like, yeah, I'm real glad they asked me because I really wanted to do it.
I was definitely one of those too. So, and I was also really happy that it was Sleepy Gary because I found that episode to be really funny. So the fact that I got to draw him was extra great.
Yeah, I'm glad they got to Sleeping Gary because it's a thing where it's like, okay, yes, we did Pocket Monsters because you got to do Pocket Monsters, but then it was like, all right, well, what other characters deserve their own like mini arcs or one-offs? Yeah, like how would you describe the cover art like style for the it's going because it doesn't necessarily. I mean, obviously it's Rick and Morty, but it's not necessarily like what people might imagine when they think of it.
It's kind of definitely a mashup of what like of the show and then my own personal style. I tried to get like a little bit of a spin on it, make it a little more like sharper, I guess, like in terms of like more edges and because I have a very angular style, so I just kind of played around with it and they let me get away with it, which is great.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of your style, we should talk about Not Drunk Enough, which started as a webcomic and then has been printed by Oni. We have book one right here. I should ask this instead of pointing just directly in your face. So you came from doing a webcomic and now it's a printed instead of doing like a Kickstarter or like a pre-order and self-publishing. You went with going with a publisher. How has that process been? I mean, obviously it came out last year for book one.
It's been really great. Like I'm love Oni Press, so being able to work with them is really wonderful. And I was just happy that they were wanting to work with me and Not Drunk Enough. And even though it was just like a webcomic in its humble beginnings, so it's been great.
Well, that's the nice thing is when comic companies understand the reality that it's not just a webcomic, that it's no different than any other comic medium, which like. It's 2018, obviously you came out 2018, so like, yeah, let's not have that argument anymore, but especially for folks that have been grown up reading webcomics, that people that are in their early 20s now that like check a webcomic every day just to see if the artist updated or if there's anything or what the comments are saying. Like for those folks, it's no different than going to a comic book shop and buying a floppy. So like, I'm glad that companies like Oni are starting to really understand that.
Me too. Like I think it's really changing the way that comics are being produced, and it allows a lot of new opportunities as well because it allows people to sort of like not have to think too much about publication and just be able to do what they want to do. And then really great companies like Oni Press are like, hey, this is great. Let's support that. And I think it's really changing the way that comics are being made.
Yeah, a webcomic can be on Comixology just like any other book, and the same way they can be printed. Just because it was started as a webcomic doesn't mean there's not a market for people that want to have something to put on their shelf. And I think what people have kind of discovered over the last couple of years particularly is that webcomic fans just want you to still be able to like make the comic and eat and live and be yourself. So they're like, yeah, I'll buy a book. I already read this 100 times. Or you're going to put some extra stuff in it. Or you're not going to put extra stuff in it. Sure, I'll buy it. And like you have like enough people that really want you to keep going.
Yeah, I've never found like the argument that people have read it already and don't want it anymore. I've never found that to be valid because every time that I've made a webcomic into a book, it's people always want it. people always want to support the creator, and it's always great.
Yeah, I found that every Kickstarter I've backed lately has just been a webcomic artist that's like, hey, we're doing book 9. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I'm going to get that, of course. I have 1 through 8. Well, Tess, you're here all weekend. You're tabling.
I'm tabling in the Artist Alley, H36 through H38, and I'm with a bunch of other really awesome people, so please drop by and maybe say hey.
Yeah, and then Tess will also be signing here. You can find that on twitter.com/OniPress. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you, folks. We'll have more videos all weekend long. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.